The year is not merely a mark in the dust of centuries tonight, it becomes a wound torn open in the timeline of human certainty. For centuries, you have been told that our progress is slow, inevitable, rational. You were taught to trust the silence of ruins, to believe in the smooth logic of progress. But what if I told you that our science has been only a flickering candle in a catacomb of forgotten knowledge? What if the world you thought you understood was just a shallow echo of older, deeper truths? Truths hidden by design, truths that speak to us now with voices of iron, stone, and vanished lightning. Tonight, 7 forbidden discoveries rewrite the order of history. Each is a crack in the official narrative, a secret the Earth kept, and now, in our own time, demands to be heard. In 2008, beneath the salt-heavy silence of the Wieliczka mine in Poland, a team sifted through a sealed Neolithic shaft, untouched since 4200 BC. Routine bones, pottery shards, salt-crusted tools, until a small, blackened disc emerged, first dismissed as a coin. As layers of mineral incrustation fell away, the team froze. Exposed beneath the grime, a latticework of copper and mica interlocking in a pattern identical to 20th century printed circuit boards. Carbon dating from Jagiellonian University confirmed the disk's burial age millennia before any electronics. Experts dismissed it, a hoax, contamination, modern debris, yet every test refuted them: sealed chamber, deep mineral aging, impossible metallurgy. The paradox remains. If this is a coin, it is the most perfect accident in history, a microchip, forged and lost 4,000 years before silicon was named. In the scorched sands near Abydos, Egypt, 2019, a joint Franco-Egyptian expedition methodically cleared a Middle Kingdom crypt, sealed since 1800 BC. The work was tedious: broken ushaptis, reed baskets, the expected funerary relics. Then, from behind a collapsed limestone slab, a gleaming fragment was pulled, initially catalogued as a mirror shard. But under high magnification at the Louvre, a team stared in silence. Etched on its flawless core surface was a microscopic grid, identical to a modern fiber optic data plate, with refractive properties tested and confirmed at the CEA labs. Impossible, said officials. Clearly contamination, a modern object somehow mixed in. Yet, the crypt's original seals were intact, and the quartz showed isotopic decay matching 3 millennia underground. If this is a mirror, then it's the sharpest reflection of the future, cast into shadow centuries before lasers were dreamed. In 2017, deep beneath the moss-covered stones of Skara, Bray, Orkney Islands, a University of Edinburgh dig traced the last corner of a Neolithic chamber, sealed since 3100 BC. The team expected nothing but clay beads, woven baskets, until an oblong object, caked in peat, was mistaken for a tool handle. As they cleaned it, work halted. Revealed was a hollow glass tube, spiraled with a thin coil of silver. Tests at the British Museum's labs confirmed the glass was ancient, its silver wire-bearing mineral signatures unique to Orkney's earliest mines. But what chilled the room was the structure, the exact design and proportions of a modern vacuum tube, the heart of 20th century electronics. Dismissed as coincidence or intrusion, every layer of soil and mineral accretion proved otherwise. The object had not moved since prehistory. If this is a beat, it is the most prophetic beat ever spun an electron's path, traced before the world knew what electricity was. In 2022, under the frozen silence of Yakutia's Batagaika crater, a Russian-Japanese team uncovered a Paleolithic shelter, undisturbed since 13,000 BC. They cataloged mammoth bones, stone scrappers' routine. Then, embedded in a collapsed fire pit, was a fused lump assumed to be burnt bone. But after careful preparation in Moscow's Vernadsky Institute, the truth emerged. Inside was a mesh of tungsten threads, woven in the precise, grid-matching modern incandescent filaments, untouched by any 20th century process. Electron microscopy revealed thermal scars and oxidation matching millennia of burial. Experts floundered: too perfect, too advanced, surely a contamination. Yet, The layer was sealed by permafrost since the last ice age, impossible to tamper with, and so the paradox endures. If this is a piece of random mineral, it is a masterpiece of accidental engineering, a tungsten filament left glowing in the night of prehistory, then entombed for 13,000 years. In the suffocating depths of the Derinkuyu underground city, Anatolia, 2020, a Turkish-Italian team explored a level sealed beneath volcanic rock for over 2,000 years. Among the dust and crumbled tools, an unremarkable chunk of carved basalt was set aside, logged as a broken weight. It wasn't until university engineers in Ankara subjected it to resonance imaging that the true nature emerged. The basalt contained a perfectly drilled channel, lined with a copper helix structurally indistinguishable from a modern electromagnetic coil, the kind used in today's wireless charging devices. All plausible explanations fell flat. The chamber had not been opened since its sealing, and both the basalt and the copper displayed patinas consistent with ancient origin. Academics denounced it as coincidence, a trick of erosion, but the data is stark. If this is a random weight, it is the most precise echo of future science, carved and forgotten in the black silence of the Iron Age. In 2015, deep beneath the labyrinthine catacombs of Teotihuacan, Mexico, a UNAM-led expedition reached a chamber sealed since the Classic era, circa 250 AD. Amid scattered jade figurines and obsidian blades, a corroded bronze ring was dismissed as jewelry. But under X-ray diffraction at the National Autonomous University, a network of fine grooves and paired magnetic nodules emerged, an arrangement identical to a modern gyroscope's gimbal, engineered for perfect balance. Initial dismissal came fast, a chance resemblance or perhaps a later intrusion. Yet radiometric analysis confirmed the bronze's ancient signature, and the chamber's seals, documented by centuries of untouched calcite growth, left no room for intrusion. The artifact's functionality was recreated, set spinning, and maintained orientation with uncanny precision. If this is an ornament, then it is a miraculous premonition, an ancient navigator's tool, forged and entombed when the very idea of inertial guidance should have been inconceivable. In 2023, beneath the suffocating humidity of the Angkor jungle, a Cambodian-Danish team excavated a sandstone chamber in the temple's oldest strata, sealed since the 10th century. Routine artifacts, clay tablets, ritual ceramics gave way to a peculiar block encrusted with resin, initially catalogued as debris. As restoration specialists at the University of Copenhagen cleaned it, a crystalline matrix became visible, pierced by gold wires in a fractal pattern. Spectrographic analysis showed the crystal to be doped quartz, and the pattern mirrored the architecture of a modern integrated circuit right down to micron-scale etchings. Impossible by any medieval technique. Dismissed as modern contamination, every test refuted the claim. The chamber was hermetically sealed, resin and gold aged together, undisturbed for centuries. The artifact remains unclassifiable. If this is temple debris, then it is a perfect oracle of the future, an Angkorian microchip, dreamed and discarded